Well, it must be Friday because it's time for another episode of the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. And over there in the studio today, as he is every Friday, is Phillip Washington Jr. And I first got to start with, I love our pre-broadcast conversations.
I know, right? If we ever recorded them, we probably get all kinds of
hate mail,
comments. From all sides.
Yes. We've thought about starting our own podcast called, what was it? Poke the Bear.
Yeah, that would be an awesome podcast.
Or maybe Stir the Pot.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh.
Stir the Pot.
Yeah. So anyway, you've got me in a great mood, and we are talking, as we do every Friday, about your finances, your 401k, your nest egg, your retirement. But today specifically, we are talking about the history of currencies. Again, based on your podcast, Wealth Building Made Simple, which you just recorded prior to us going live, and you brought up something that I've never heard before, and that was the CE and BCE. I've always thought of BC, before Christ, and AD. Explain what BCE and what CE are, and let's go back in time and talk about the history of currencies.
Yeah, so they represent the same bookmarks on time. So instead of AD or instead of BC, they're now using BCE, which is a more inclusive I learned this morning too from the research, a more inclusive term for before Common Era. So instead of before Christ, it's before Common Era. And then instead of AD, they use CE for Common Era.
The
right?
Common Era.
Yeah, which makes sense, right? 'Cause I was like, I wonder how Muslims or other believers might feel about referencing time,
related to Christ.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was interesting. But and I went there because I was doing my research on, on money, which I've done lots of times, but I was getting my stuff organized for this morning. And so one of the things that I do know when I do history research is there's no such thing as a fact, because a fact comes down to perspective, meaning the reason why our court system is set up the way it is if you have 10 people on the scene, every person is going to have a different perspective of what happened. So just imagine trying to tell a story of history through one perspective and saying it's accurate. It's not accurate. It's almost for sure not accurate. So when I'm looking for when I'm studying history, I'm not really looking for the facts. I'm looking for the principle that works in every time period.
Yeah.
And then if I see from the perspective of the principle, I can get the broader perspective, right? And so I'm saying it to say, when you look through history, some may say money started in this time period in China. But if you dig deeper, so I that's what I did with ChatGPT. It said, it started in 600, CE, or I think it was a BCE in China or somewhere. And then I said, well, were there civilizations before China, which we know there were? Yeah, Mesopotamia. There was money there too. Or were there civilizations before Mesopotamia? Yeah, there were. This one being the old Egyptian kingdom, right? And there was money there too. And they were like, and I was like, so money's basically wherever you find humans in history, you're gonna find money.
Yeah. Because
money is how we exchange value, physically, right? Because everything that we have is a physical expression of how we interact socially and emotionally. And so so money has been different things, whether it's been seashells, whether it's been tablets, whether it's been coins, cigarettes, yeah, and now paper money.
And even going further back, bartering.
Yep. You got a cow, hey, trade that cow for, right?
I'm fresh out of cows.
Yeah, just for whatever, right? So, yeah, money is whatever we ascribe the value to it.
And if the first bit of currency became coins then, I think, because paper hadn't been invented back then. And
the first, and this is what I'm really working to do with currency is break an idea of of currency being one thing. Currency is whatever we believe it to be. So before it was coins, it was cattle being traded for eggs, right? Like to understand currency, to understand it, like currency, current, right? It's
Right.
an energy. It's just it's what we have faith in. So if we have faith in this bottle of orange juice as a society, it becomes money. So like the fallacy comes in making investment decisions around where to put your money is not understanding what money is. Meaning if people always say to me, oh, this asset class isn't valuable because it isn't backed by anything. Okay, well, what's the U.S. government backed by? Money backed by? Gold. It hasn't been backed by gold since the 70s. But if it was, what is gold backed by? Oh, well, what do you mean? Yeah, like what is gold backed by? I don't know. Just the history books said it's always been valuable. Exactly. Like you're believing facts that are built on top of. Let's look at the principle. The principle is money is whatever we believe it to be.
Sure.
That's the principle of money. The principle of money is always, if you're in jail and they don't have anything, then they believe money is cigarettes. And it works. Like the economy works. As long as you have something of value that you believe it to be. Now, here's the other thing that's important to know. It has to have belief, but then it has to have believability, meaning not manipulated. So the reason when you see financial systems break down, it's when the people in control of the money lie about the amount of money in supply, meaning they print way too much money than is necessary to support the goods and economies of the society, and or they print way too much money and then they restrict the money to freely go where it wants to go to reinvest in the updated economy, right? Because the people that built the old economy are like, hey, we need you to take this money and stuff it back into this old economy so we can keep getting rich. And people are like, but I don't want to do that. I want to take the money you printed and I want to put it in the new economy that's building things that this new generation is bringing, which is better than the old generation. And they're like, but you can't do that. Well, why not? Because it would like make us poorer. Okay. I mean, why don't you just switch over to the new?
Exactly? What if everyone took their money and they put it into the new generation? Which
you have a shift of power, literally.
Okay, and I think that's where some people are headed. That the new generation of money, as we've talked about many times on this podcast,
or a balance of power. How about that?
Is digital currency.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, again, what if everyone took their dollars, their coins, their dollar bills, and said, you know what, I'm going to convert this all into digital, so that not only can I access my money from anywhere in the world, I just got an electric bill and I'm in Thailand right now. I hop on my phone and
hence this is why you see the propaganda against digital currencies. It comes down to like a parent, right? And I'm gonna pick a topic that is sensitive, and it's me picking it, not Steve picking it. But I'm wearing this shirt because the natural tendency when you're afraid of change is to try to control stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you are afraid of new ideas that are different than what you grew up believing, the natural human reaction is to fear it, right? It's the reason why they're trying to ban books now all over Texas and different deals, because they're like parents whose job is to protect their kids. And they say, all right, these are I talking to a friend, I said, hey, the same people, this is the same energy that before there was integration of black people, right? Black people were not it wasn't normal to have black people in your pool or in your school or that just wasn't normal. As a matter of fact, there's a misinterpretation of the Bible, which is the foundation of the culture that we live in, that black people were like less than, right? They were the offspring of an illegitimate kid of Abraham, right? If you really want to get technical. And so like that mindset was that we didn't belong in society. And it was not as like we're looking at it going, oh, that seems barbaric. No, but that just was that was just the normal perception of a lot of folks from that society at that point in time. So I'm not judging it. I'm just saying that was the old perception. And so integration was just forcing a new perspective into society to where now the answers of people who thought that way, they're like, oh yeah, I like black people. But these new group of people and their ideas, this is not right because this is not, and I'm just like, no, like, listen, like ideas continue to grow. Like if you look at how nature works, nature spreads seeds, infinite amounts of seeds being ideas, right? It's always spreading seeds, always growing new and different life. That's literally the stasis or balance of nature. And we just replicate it.
Keep an open mind. Embrace the future.
Embrace the future. Same with currencies. Like this, that's the thing I'm saying. The new currencies are gonna come. Like there's 100% no stopping it.
Yeah.
You cannot stop it. It's in the history, the dictator mindset is defeated 100% of the time. And I'm saying dictator in the sense of where you think your perspective is a perspective that should be forced on everyone. That's undefeated forever.
In the minute or so we have left, do you want to recap or should we get right into the contact information?
Let's get into the contact information.
If someone wanted to have a philosophical conversation about currency or their finances in general, how can they reach out to Phillip Washington Jr.?
It is, best way is wealthbuildingsimple.us. I'm starting a newsletter to help people understand how to make money, which is having a broader, open perspective so you can see the future happening in your face and make lots of money with joy.
That's Phillip Washington Jr. We do this every Friday right here on the podcast. In fact, let me go back, show everyone your shirt there.
Yeah, I got it at my favorite T-shirt shop in Dallas called Bullzark. It's in Bishop Arts, but it's a lot of them.
That's Phillip stirring the pot, and we'll be back here next week as we do this every week. And Phillip, have yourself a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks.